So we'll go to the stage 3. What is the difference between the stage 2 and stage 3 means? Okay, right now in stage 2 we have two packages which consist of your ActiveTime framework engine and then your Excel sheet, which is consists of the framework engine consists of your Excel library class and then your test executor class. Here only Excel sheet. But if you come to the stage 3, okay, we have the framework engine package which consists of test executor class and Excel library class. Also it has some login, logout, create customer and some other classes also. And we have the same Excel sheet, and then in the properties file newly we have created a package, that is which consists of a config properties and the overdot properties. What this config.properties will have means it will consist of your dataset information. For example, if it is just 2 minutes. Okay, so the config properties will consist of your dataset information. That means, for example, your username, password, admin, manager, and then your URL information, like that. Those dataset information will present under your config.properties. The over.properties will consist of your respective property value of an element. Xpath information, the name is equal to username, like that. All the properties value will be present on the over.properties file. Okay. If you open that file, if you come over, this is my project. If you come over this project, see here com.activetime 3, it consists of 3 packages. One is what your framework engine package, then your properties package and Excel sheet. The framework engine is consists of a test executor and Excel library class. Also it has login, logout, create project, create customer, all tests. Then all the class file information, that is your scenario, okay, your all your test cases informations will be there. Make sure that this class name and then your Excel sheet scenario name, okay, both should be same. Your Excel sheet scenario name, login, logout, create customer, like that. All the scenario name of the the class name and then your sheet name should be same. It's case sensitive also, okay. Then if you come over to the Excel sheet, it's having the action keywords, element ID, locator value, data, type, name. Both are already we saw in the stage 2 only. Right now what is the difference we have done means, in the locator value and data, what we have done, we have taken the variable name information which is present under your properties file. Okay, if you come over to the properties file, right now it's under the properties package. I'll take the config.properties first. Okay, if you come over here, okay, in the text box I'm having admin underscore u1, that is holding admin value, then admin underscore password, so now if you consider here, admin underscore u1 is holding admin, admin underscore password is holding manager, that is this is the variable name. That is what I am using in my respective Excel sheet. See here, admin underscore u1, admin underscore password. The same thing if you come to the over.properties, I told dataset informations will be present under your config.properties value. Okay, the config.properties file, that is what this one, config.properties file, which is present under here. The same thing if you come to the locator value information, okay, these things will be present under over.properties file. See here, over.properties file. There if you see, I have separated the information into slots, that is text box, button, link, radio button, checkbox and drop down, like that I separated it. Yeah, that is, it's not sure, it's not mandatory that your word.properties variable name and then the config.properties variable name should be same. It can be anything. It's up to your usage how you can identify the respective elements. That is what the variable name you have to identify. For this variable name I have used this respective name for it, like that you have to identify it. That's what. Okay, right now if you come to the order properties file, why I have separated like this slots means, because here I will be working on a functionality which will be an application where I will be loading 1000 properties file information. So if I am going to load, for example, 1000 property file information, it should be a one which I can identify on later usage also. For example, I'll be holding slots like this, text box, button things means what will happen, 1000 properties will be separated into slots. Like for example, text box, how many will be there, max of max within 70 or 100 will be there. The same thing for buttons, it will be 100, like that slots will be there. If I want to find some informations, okay, what inside that 100 alone if I find means, it will be easier for me. The same thing if I am loading entire information out of 1000 properties, for me finding will be difficult. That's why I'll be using separating like slots for my easier usage. That's what. Okay now. So now I'll come to this. So I'll come here over here. So if you come over to my respective setup framework Excel sheet, here this is the configuration details we saw. In this you can see the package informations. We have added a new package which is called as a properties file. Okay, we added a new one which is called your properties package. Then in your framework engine package, if you see, we have added some extra class files. Before test executor and Excel library class alone was there. Now I have added login, logout, create customer, create project and all tests. These extra class files I have added. Then if you come over to the properties package, a new package has been added. Before only we had framework engine and XLS package. A new package, properties package also has been added, which consists of o.properties file and config.properties file. Then if I come down, okay, here I have done some changes in the Excel sheet. What is the changes means, the locator value and the data is there. Now before I was hard coding there. Now what I did, I used as a variable name which is present under the o.properties file and the config.properties file. Okay. Then I am creating some extra sheets, that is I have added here. If you come over to my respective sheet, I have added some respective test cases, create customer and create project. So for that I have added some extra sheets information also. Just a second, extra 2 sheets I have added, that's what I mentioned here. Then if I come over here on Excel library class, there are no changes on it. The same 3 methods we have to get the row count information, reading from the Excel sheet, writing on the Excel sheet. The same 3 methods I am having. If I come over to the test executor class, okay, what is the changes I have done, we'll see. If I come over to the test executor class, in your package framework engine, okay, right now if you come over to my framework engine package, okay, here I am having these many class files, test executor, Excel library, these 2 are mandatory. Then login, logout, create customer and create project. Yes, correct, these are the test cases. Correct. But right now I am not going to use this all test.java. I am not going to use this class file, but I created it, that's it. Right now the things I am going to use means login, logout, create project and create posture. Only these things I am going to use. That also what I will not be using now, I created it. On the stage 4 I will be using those files. Okay, how to use all those things we will see in that one. Okay, now if we come to the stage 3, okay, the same thing. Now if we come to the test executor class, okay, what is the difference I have done here means, okay, sorry, in stage 3 I am going to use those things, I am going to use all those things. Okay, we'll see. Now what I did means, okay, I have made WebDriver, that is what I made this one as a global non-static variable. This one WebDriver, that one non-static global variable. Then I made the test executor class. Before it was a main function, now I made it as a method. If you see in your stage 2, I'll click on this one, stage 2 test executor class. here if you come over, it was like a main function. Now what I did, I made this test executor information, the main function I converted to a normal method. The method name is execute test, which is going to accept me script name. I am going to accept that one. Okay. Now what I am going to do extra, I am going to create an object for the properties class. Why means, right now I am going to access the config and over.properties file. So I am creating an object for it. Then using this one, now what I did, file input stream, I am going to get the information of my respective over.properties file location. Okay, what the system.getProperty user directory will give means, yeah, my current project location it will be giving me. Then over.properties.load, what it will do, in your over.properties file, what are the informations are present, everything will be loaded into the properties object, over_property object. Now again I am creating another object for the config properties. The same thing, in my config properties I am going to load all the respective informations in the properties file of the config. I loaded these two information. Now I am invoking the browser driver equal to new Firefox driver. Now I am giving here config_property.getProperty URL. What is it will do? Config_property get property means what will happen? It will go to the respective config.properties file, search for the variable URL. If you come over here, yeah, here we have URL. In the URL, what is the values present? This HTTP Lenovo information, that one will be totally coming over here. That is the respective URL, driver.get URL. Now what will happen? This will enter the URL information into my respective opened browser. This one is finished. Now implicit wait, creating an object for the Excel library class. Then now what I am going to do, I am going to have the creating, I am going to call the get row count method. The script name is what right now I am going to pass, from where it's going to come, that is it's going to come from this respective place. I am going to call this respective method from another place. This execute test method I am going to call from another place. From where we will be calling, we'll see. Okay, first we'll understand this test executor class, then we'll go to the respective those places. Okay, from here I will be getting the script name information. First I am going to get the row count information. What this will do, when I give this library.get row count, what will happen? This will go to the the Excel library class file. In that, where we have the row count, get row count. Okay, I'll just give control and then I'll press on it. It will go to the respective Excel library class, get row count. What it will do, passes the respective sheet name and then returns me the row count information. Again it will come to the test executor class. Now this total information will have the return value, that is my row count information. For example, 4 means that 4 will be loaded under the number of steps variable, that will be loaded. Then I am going to run the for loop. The same thing, int I is equal to 1 I am going to have. Why I am having 1 means, because in your Excel sheet the 0th index is what? Your header. You don't want that. Only from 1 you want the information, these things only. So now what I will do, I will just go here, int I is equal to 1, I is less than number of steps. Right now what is the test steps? For example, if you come to the login logout sheet, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 will be the row count now. So this will hold 4. I is less than or equal to 4, till that the loop should run and incrementing the looping condition. Now library.get Excel data. What this will do? This will go to the respective Excel library class. I'll just give control. That will be passing my script name and then my row information is what? Right now it's 1, which I got from here. This one. Then now what is this? Your column number, that is your cell number, 1, 1. Now this will go to get Excel data. Here it will pass login logout 1, 1. This will be getting the row count. This will be getting me reading my Excel sheet information there. So now if I go to the Excel data, Excel sheet, this will be 0, 1, 0, 1. It will read type. So that type I will be getting the information here. So finally that will be my return value. That again that will come to the executor class. This total information will have type that will be stored under action. Then library.getExcel data script name I comma 2. What this will do right now, go to the test sheet 0 1 and then 0 1 2. Now it will take name, that is the element ID method information, that will be again will be passed to this element ID method. Then the locator information, what is the locator information will be now means, I'll go here right now admin underscore u1, that will be the locator value. Data value will be the same admin underscore u1, that will be stored under your locator value and data variable. So all four informations we captured, and finally I'm printing the information. Action element ID var underscore property dot get property locator value config underscore property get property data. Why I am passing like this means, what is the locator value now? Admin underscore u1. If I pass like this, what will happen? It will go to the respective o.properties file. This information will call to the o.properties file, then searches for the admin underscore u1. Here we have admin underscore u1. So that will hold username, that will be passed here. This totally it will be consisting of right now username information. This config underscore property data, what this is going to hold means, go to the config properties value, then get me admin information, that will be holding here. Now I am printing all the information. Now if we come over here, if action dot equals type, now what will happen? Searches what is the action value right now. Right now what I got from the Excel sheet here means type is the one I got now. So what will happen? Right now this matches with this one. Otherwise if it is a click or something, searches for else if condition with click or select, like that it will go. Right now it's type for me. Now enters here. Now what I am doing here, var underscore dot get property locator value. So what this is going to do, this is going to capture me that respective properties file in the order properties file, what is present under the admin underscore u1 for it, that will be stored under locator value variable. What is this locator value means? Already here I have initialized this as a string variable, that's why I am not initializing declaring it as one more time string, directly I am using the variable name alone. Now what, again for data the same thing, getting the information from the config underscore properties file, then finally type element ID method locator value data. So what this will have an element ID locator value data. Element ID right now is what? Name for you. This admin underscore u1 and admin underscore u1, what is present under the properties file, yeah, that will be taken and that information will be passed here. Now it will go to the respective type method which is present under the test executor class. Now I'll just give on control, I'll just go over here. Here I have the type method. In the type method it's going to accept these three information: locator, element ID, locator value, data. Now I'm going to have if element, yeah, just a minute. Yeah, we'll go there. Yes, locator value data. Correct. Yeah. Yes. Here string locator value is equal to library dot get Excel data means what will happen? It will go to the Excel library class. Okay, it will go to the Excel library class. Then from Excel library class, it will connect to the test dot Excel sheet. Then what will happen? It will take you the locator value information, admin underscore u1. This is not the original one. This is what a variable name which we are using in, yeah, in the properties file. So now that one will be captured in this one, in the locator value. Correct. Yes, correct. There we got this one. Right now here what I am doing in this locator value, I am getting the original property information from the properties file for admin underscore u1. Right now it's username. That's Yeah, correct. Yes, that one I'm storing in locator value, and then this data, that information. That's what I'm passing here. The original information I'm passing to the type method. Now if I go to the type method, what will happen? This will consist of element ID method. Right now it's what for me here is name. Okay, and then after that the locator value, and then after that my data will be what? Username, and then this one will be admin. I got the information. Now it's going to check with element ID method. If the element ID method matches with name, it will go to this respective block. Otherwise it searches for ID or class, which is the original one is going to search. Right now mine is name, so enters to this block. Now what? Driver dot find element by dot name locator value, that is username, dot send keys data, that means admin. So we got the information that will be executed under your respective application, that will be executed. Now what will happen? From here it comes out of this respective type method. Again it will go to this information, the type method here. Now what will happen? Gets out from here block, again comes out of from here block, then now what will happen? Comes out of this, and then again the for loop will be started. Now I will be what? 2. Then again what will happen? It will fetch the informations from that Excel sheet for the second row, 0, 1, 2. Take these 4 information and continues the same process. That's the thing. Okay, this is what's happening in the test executor class. Now we'll see, okay, other things are same everything. Okay, then right now we'll see how the script name has been passed here and how this respective test execute test method has been called. I told we have created some class files here in the stage 3. Okay, from this class files only we are calling this test executor method. Okay, now we'll go to this login logout class. I'll go to the login logout class. Okay, this is what active time 3 is what we are, that is in that login logout class. If I go over here, you can see I created a class called login logout. In that I am having one method called test method. Okay, that is made as a JUnit test method. I am going to do that one. So now what will happen? Okay, in this test method system.out.println start login logout. I am just going to print some information, and then I am creating a object for the test executor class. That means I can access all the members of the test executor class. Then executor.execute test login logout, the same class name I am passing here. That is what the class name is, what the same resemblance of your sheet name, which is case sensitive. That's what I am passing there. Now what will happen? This one will call the respective test executor class. From here that will be called, goes here, passes login logout, and the respective flow will follow what we saw now. Then finally after executing entire information, what will happen? From here again it will go to the login logout class, comes here, ending login logout scenario, and then comes out of this one. That is what we have done in this login logout class. This is what your stage 3 about. The difference is what means, what are the changes we have done from the stage 2 and stage 3. Okay, what are the things we have done means, okay, we'll see now. We created, okay, this is a stage 2. It's consisting of only test executor and Excel library class and Excel sheet information. Right now we have extra classes, login logout, all test, create customer. We'll see what this all test is about. I'll just go to this one. I'll open this one. That is what? Yes, to run it as a suite file. If you want to run all these classes, okay, I'll be using the @run with class, which is presented under the JUnit. With that help, I'm going to run login logout, create customer, and create project. These class files I'm going to run, I'm going to use it. That's what we are going to do. Now what will happen? This suite class, if I'm running, means first it will go to the login logout class. Okay, then it comes here, execute the same flow, then again comes to the all test.java, takes the next one, create customer, then goes to the create customer, follows the same procedure, again comes over here, takes create project and runs the same information as what we saw there in JUnit. That's what. Okay, then now I'll come over. These three classes we introduced, and then one new package called properties, which consists of the config and then the over.properties file. That's what. Okay, now I'll go to the Excel sheet. We'll see. We saw the setup file information. Now we'll see here locator value and data on the Excel sheet. We saw in the Excel library clause nothing changes. Here what? The main function in the test executor class, we converted the main function of the class into a method, okay, name as execute test, which accepts string variable as the argument. We saw that one. Now create an access for the over.properties file, because right now I am going to use over.properties file and the config.properties file. So for that I need an access for it. So I am creating the respective class informations with loading. I am loading the first all the properties file informations of the OR and then the config. I loaded the information using that OR_properties. This one I loaded the information of it. Now I came over here, just a second. Okay, I loaded for the word.properties file and the config.properties file. Next, okay, using the property.get property, I'll be getting the values from the word.properties file and the config.properties file. We have saw that one. Okay, I'll go to the test executor class. See here. Okay, first we have made that properties file information. Then finally what? I'm loading the information over_property load, config_property load. Then I'm getting the script name information, invoking the browser. Here using config_property, I'm getting the URL information from the respective sheet. That's what I have done. Okay, this is what information. Then what? I'm invoking the browser information. Okay, I have done one more changes also. I have clear mention here. That is, right now before it was a static one, the web driver here. Okay, see here in the old test executor class, this was static. Right now I made it as a non-static one. That's it. That's the changes I have done. I'll just go over here. From the stage 2 I'll take make non-static web driver as a driver as a global variable. I got this one. Then invoking the browser, other all these things are same. Now what is the extra thing here means I'm having login logout class. Okay, what that is going to do is a JUnit, which will have a JUnit test method. If you come over here, okay, this one I made as a JUnit test method, okay, which is going to have a test name as a method name. Okay, creating an object for the test executor class. Then finally what? I am going to have pass the class name as the argument, which the class name on the Excel sheet name should be same. That should be same. Then when I call it, what will happen? That will go to the respective test executor class, execute the entire information, and finally comes here. That's what. Then I am having all tests, the suit file. That is also we have the information here. Then over.properties file. That is what is going to contain the property value of a web element. Why we place the information in the property file means in future if there are any changes happening on the property value of a web element, if we change in property file, that will reflect in all over the places where we call that respective variable. That's why we have that one. The same thing for the config properties value also, we are doing the same change. That's what we have in the stage 3. Okay, na? So now we'll see the stage 4 in the another session.